The last confirmed trace of Heinrich Müller was not a scream, not a confession, not even a gunshot. It was silence. A silence so complete that it unsettled even the men who believed they had finally won the war. Berlin, April 1945. The city was dying. Smoke poured from shattered buildings as if the streets themselves were burning from within. Rubble clogged the roads. Bodies lay where they had fallen. The Red Army closed in from every direction, artillery pounding the ground until it felt as though the earth's bones were cracking apart. Beneath the chaos, in the underground corridors connected to the Reich Chancellery and the Führerbunker, men who had once ruled most of Europe now whispered like hunted animals. Their voices were low, their faces pale. Their power had evaporated, and among them moved Heinrich Müller. He was not imposing, not dramatic. Short, stocky, and unremarkable at first glance. The head of the Gestapo did not look like a monster. He never needed to. Müller's power did not come from speeches or symbolism. It came from paper, from files, lists, reports, from names carefully typed, cross-referenced, and archived. People disappeared because Müller knew where they lived, who they trusted, and what frightened them most. Now, the hunter was being hunted. Witnesses later recalled seeing him during those final days. Calm, methodical, still wearing his uniform as though the Reich remained intact. According to several accounts, he told colleagues he would not flee, that he would wait for orders. Those who knew Müller understood what that really meant. This was not loyalty. It was calculation. Müller believed in survival above all else. As the bunker shook under relentless bombardment, Adolf Hitler prepared for death. Others followed him into suicide. Heinrich Müller did not. Instead, he gathered documents, burning some, hiding others. He memorized routes, contacts, possible identities. He understood something the true believers could not accept. The war was ending, but power itself did not vanish. It merely changed hands. When Soviet troops finally stormed the Chancellery complex days later, they found bodies. Many bodies. Some burned. Some buried hastily. Some never identified. But not Heinrich Müller. No confirmed corpse. No captured prisoner. No execution record. He had vanished. And in the shadowed world Müller had helped create, rumors were never harmless. To understand how Heinrich Müller disappeared, one must first understand how he rose. Born in Munich in 1900, Müller was not an obvious future architect of terror. He did not command crowds. He did not speak in grand ideological terms. He was the son of a working-class family, drawn not to politics, but to order, structure, control. After Germany's defeat in the First World War, the country descended into instability and violence. For Müller, chaos was intolerable. Authority was comfort. He joined the police, then moved into political policing. And when the Nazis seized power in 1933, Müller aligned himself with a new regime with chilling efficiency, not out of fanaticism, but usefulness. By the mid-1930s, he had become indispensable. He was not charismatic like Heinrich Himmler, not theatrical like Joseph Goebbels. Müller worked quietly, relentlessly. He built systems, networks of surveillance that reached into factories, neighborhoods, and private lives. He oversaw interrogations that crushed resistance through methodical pressure rather than spectacle. In 1939, Müller became head of the Gestapo. From his office passed orders that shaped arrests, deportations, and investigations across Nazi-controlled Europe. His department played a central role in the regime's machinery of repression. He coordinated intelligence operations. He tracked enemies of the state. He dealt directly with the logistics of fear. Colleagues feared him. Prisoners remembered him long after release, if they were released at all. And yet Müller left behind almost nothing personal. No diary, no known letters, no recorded emotional confessions. He existed almost entirely as a function of power, which made what came next even more disturbing. As Allied forces closed in from both west and east, Müller's world began to fracture. Files were destroyed. Orders contradicted one another. Loyalty, once sacred, became meaningless. Survival was the only remaining currency. In April 1945, Müller was seen multiple times within the Führerbunker complex. Survivors later described his demeanor as eerily calm. He drank coffee. He spoke casually. Some even recalled him joking. But beneath that surface, he was planning. Some believed Müller intended to surrender to the Soviets, convinced his intelligence value would protect him. Others claimed he sought escape toward the American lines. A few whispered that false documents had been prepared weeks earlier. No account could be confirmed. On May 1st, Adolf Hitler was dead. Days later, Berlin fell. The Gestapo ceased to exist as an institution. Yet Heinrich Müller did not appear among the captured. He was not paraded, interrogated, or publicly executed. He was not listed among the confirmed dead. For Allied investigators, this absence was unacceptable. The most powerful secret policeman in Nazi Germany had simply evaporated. The search for Heinrich Müller began almost immediately, and in many ways it never truly ended. American, British, and Soviet intelligence agencies launched their own investigations. Each suspected the others might be hiding him. Each feared what Müller might reveal, or what he might already have revealed. Former Gestapo officers were interrogated relentlessly. Some claimed Müller died in Berlin. Others insisted he escaped. Sightings were reported across Europe, Prague, Vienna, and later even beyond it. None could be proven. By the way, if you're holding on to this moment with me, make sure to hit subscribe. There's more just ahead, and the truth only grows darker from here. In 1948, Soviet sources claimed Müller had been captured and died in custody. No body was ever produced. In the 1950s, Western intelligence documents speculated, without confirmation, that Müller may have cooperated with Soviet intelligence. Bones discovered in Berlin decades later briefly reignited hope. For a moment, one set of remains was believed to be Müller's. It wasn't. The man who had once tracked millions had erased himself almost perfectly. Over time, three dominant theories emerged. First, Heinrich Müller died in Berlin, his body lost among the chaos of the city's final collapse. Possible. Even likely, but never proven. Second, Müller was captured by the Soviets and used as an intelligence asset. His knowledge would have been invaluable and dangerous. Third, Müller escaped, changed his name, lived quietly somewhere far from Germany, South America, the Middle East, somewhere distant enough for history to lose him. Each possibility carried terrifying implications. If Müller lived, justice never reached him. By the 1970s, Heinrich Müller had become less a man than a legend. Historians searched archives. Journalists chased fading leads. Former Nazis whispered half-remembered stories in old age. Still, nothing. In 1972, West Germany officially declared Müller dead. It was a legal necessity, not a historical conclusion. Even today, some intelligence files remain classified. Agencies have never fully revealed what they knew, or what they feared, because Heinrich Müller represented something worse than fanaticism. He represented efficiency without conscience. He left no grave, no trial transcripts, no final photograph, only questions. Perhaps he died anonymously, stripped of power and identity. Perhaps he lived, watching the world move on without him. Or perhaps he became what he always was, an invisible presence, operating quietly in the shadows. History remembers monsters who fall loudly. But the most frightening ones? They simply disappear. And somewhere, in some forgotten archive, Heinrich Müller may still be waiting.